Becoming a Disney Channel DCOM or Disney XD star may seem ideal for young teens with big dreams, but being an actor or actress won't miraculously make their lives perfect. In fact, like all the celebs on today's list, many have faced serious trouble with the law, whether that was due to being caught drinking and driving, partaking in armed robberies, faking IDs, or entirely other charges. I'm your host Michaela, let's get into it. Taking our 10th spot is actor David Henrie from That's So Raven and Wizards of Waverly Place. This star got his Disney start on Raven playing Corey's friend Larry, but he set his quick fame in Stone at 18 by portraying Alex's older brother Justin Russo in Wizards of Waverly Place. A little over a decade after gaining his main character in Wizards, David was detained in September 2018 for carrying a loaded firearm into LAX. While addressing the issue on Twitter, David wrote, "I take responsibility for the situation today. I unintentionally brought my legally owned weapon, which is registered in my name, to the airport. I'm so sorry for any trouble it caused, but I'm appreciative of TSA's efforts in implementing the safety laws that are in place to protect our beautiful country. More than anything, I am humiliated and embarrassed that this even happened, but thankful to the TSA, LAPD, and all involved today for their kindness and professionalism during this process." People were the first to report David being charged with, quote, carrying a loaded firearm, carrying a concealed weapon, and possessing a weapon in a sterile area of the airport. In November 2018, TMZ published an article reporting David getting off with 0 jail time for his accidental crime. Rather, he was required to pay fees and fines and take a firearm safety course, while also receiving 2 years probation alongside 20 days of community service. Taking our 9th spot is Adam Hicks, the actor from Zeke and Luther and Lemonade Mouth. Adam's face was a huge staple in Disney Channel's brand between 2009 to 2013. In addition to bagging a lead role on Zeke and Luther and starring in a main part for the DCOM film Lemonade Mouth, Adam was also on their series Pair of Kings and Jonas. Yet in 2018, Variety reported that the actor was incarcerated on suspicion of armed robberies. TMZ, the first news outlet to report the information, alleged that Adam and his partner Danny Timburo would jab firearms in victims' faces and demand valuable items and money. For the case, Adam's attorney indicated the musician had a mental health issue, which resultantly postponed the arraignment so Adam could receive the opportunity for a doctor evaluation. In July 2019, E! News stated Adam, quote, pled not guilty to 3 felony counts of attempted second-degree robbery and 2 felony counts of second-degree robbery. At the time, his bail was set to over $500,000 and he remained in custody. In March 2020, Adam was released on parole, with the judge crediting the near 1,500 days he previously served while he awaited his sentencing. Adam most recently dropped a new song a month ago titled Chosen One. Taking our 8th spot is the Proud Family and That's So Raven actor Orlando Brown. A few Disney stars like Orlando have been arrested multiple times on several counts. Orlando's crimes range from years of felony substance possession, DUIs, and domestic battery charges. In 2018, the actor was captured and arrested by bounty hunters due to a outstanding warrant. As per TMZ, a judge issued a warrant for him last month after he failed to appear in court for allegedly his girlfriend. More so in 2018, Orlando faced another arrest in Las Vegas for burglary, as originally confirmed by Page 6. The former Raven actor stayed in the penitentiary on $13,000 bail, which was stacked on top of bail from his previous arrest charges mentioned prior. Orlando's Vegas detain came only 1 week following his being caught and arrested for attempting to change the locks inside the Legends restaurant and venue, as per TMZ. The eatery was owned by the actor's longtime friend Danny, who alerted the authorities that Orlando's presence triggered a security alarm and alerted his phone. Orlando's excuse to the police was that he was simply there to change the locks, a claim which Danny denied, and therefore led to Orlando leaving in cuffs. Sin City and Orlando share a complicated legal history, as a month prior, the former Disney star was issued a warrant of his arrest following his skipping a county hearing for his possession charges that same summer. Taking our 7th spot is Debby Ryan. Debby has acted under a slew of Disney works, landing her royalty status within the studio's networks brand, including her main show Jessie as the titular character, her start as Bailey Pickett on the Sweet Life on Deck series, and her lead role in Disney's original films Radio Rebel and 16 Wishes. On top of these 3, her characters Jessie and Bailey saw numerous crossovers in a bunch of other Disney shows as well. And much like a lot of the other young and desirable Disney it girls, Debby wanted to pursue music on the side of her acting career to see if she could add to the greatness of those who came before her. However, in 2016, the former Disney actress was charged with a DUI and locked up after she crashed her vehicle. Months down the road, an announcement came that she would serve no jail time but 3 years probation. However, Debby's success has not faltered very much despite this. She's seen more fame and praise through recent hits like Netflix's short-lived Insatiable and their original Night Teeth. Taking our 6th spot is Andy Mack's Stoney Westmoreland. Fans of the children's show were quick to notice that Andy's dad/grandfather Henrie Mack had not made an appearance in the show for quite some time. This was due to his December 2018 arrest, where he was later dismissed from the series shortly after. According to KSL, Stoney was placed behind bars for allegedly arranging to engage in physically inappropriate and immoral behavior online with someone he believed was 13 years old. Deadline was the first to report Stoney being charged charged with 6 felonies for his crime. Even worse, the arrest took place in Salt Lake City, Utah, according to reports, the exact location where Andy Mack filmed. Not to mention the majority of Stoney's co-stars were minors. Additionally, prior to his role on Andy Mack and several years before its premiere, Stoney had a recurring part on Scandal. Taking our 5th spot is Kyle Massey from That's So Raven and Court in the House. Much like the celebrity before him, Kyle faced jail time in regard to accusations of sending unethical explicit material to a minor. Being 29 at the time, Kyle was charged with felony immoral communication with a minor in King County on June 14th. Court obtained documents by TMZ reported that the lawsuit was first presented after an undisclosed 13-year-old girl alongside her mother first brought the legal issue to Kyle in 2019. The March case sought $1.5 million and alleged that Kyle held himself out as a father figure for the young girl in 2018, while requesting to be her friend on Snapchat to eventually send her multiple explicit text messages, images, and videos. Issued notice of arraignment for Kyle took place on June 15th, which was followed up by an order due to his failure to show up to court, as per King County Circuit Court documents. The former Disney star landed himself an arrest warrant for skipping out on the Washington court appearance in regards to his case about his immoral communication with a minor. At the time, Disney's representatives did not immediately respond to the Washington Examiner's request for comment. Taking our 4th spot is Phill Lewis, the actor from The Suite Life of Zack and Cody and The Suite Life on Deck franchises. Long before Phill became the beloved Mr. Mosby in both series, the veteran actor landed a year in jail for reportedly driving while drunk and ending the life of then 21-year-old Isabella Duarte. At the time of his sentencing, Phill was 24 under a manslaughter conviction. Alongside jail time, Phill was also ordered to serve 350 hours of community service and 2 years of probation by Montgomery County Circuit Judge William C. Miller. Phil's intoxication levels were measured 3 times over the legal limit. Judge William Miller noted that the late victim, who previously worked as a Portugal nanny, was not just a statistic. Miller further pushed, quote, "Due to the serious nature of the offense, I feel some incarceration is appropriate." Phill was given another year behind bars from Miller on the original charge to concurrently serve. As for officials, this meant a total serving of 90 days in county jail, 270 days of confinement, 90 more days in the county's halfway house program, and a final 90 days under home detention. Phill stated in court that he understood the terms of his conviction, and his lawyer expressed their plan to not appeal the sentence. Isabel's uncle, Augusto Rodriguez, stated, "There are no winners in this type of situation, but jail time is appropriate because you have to give a message to people out there who are still drinking and driving. It's not out of hate." Taking our 3rd spot is That's So Ravens and Raven Home's Anneliese Van Der Pol. Similar to Phill, in 2006, this actress was detained for driving under the influence and later pleaded no contest to DUI a year after. TMZ reports highlighted her blood alcohol level doubled over the legal limit of 0.08 at a startling high of 0.19. Anneliese was arrested in July 2006 following the incident of her colliding with a parked car. The crash created a domino effect according to official TMZ obtained reports, which detailed Anneliese losing control of her car and causing the parked vehicle to hit an additional 2 cars. Anneliese then traveled across the roadway behind her wheel and hit another vehicle after that. As stated prior, the Disney star pled no contest to her 2 misdemeanors. The LA City Attorney's Office prosecuted the case, and Annaliese's sentencing was scheduled for March 19th at the time. According to TMZ obtained documents, Anneliese was offered 36-month probation and a fine and assessments penalty of $2,844 by the court. She was additionally sentenced to attendance at an alcohol education program. Taking our 2nd spot is Kelli Berglund. In 2016, the young actress was cuffed at Coachella after she was caught carrying a false identification card. As per New York Daily News, the then 20-year-old actress reportedly attempted to meet up with some friends in a restricted area of the Palm Spring party. However, her plans fell through deeply when the event security noticed her fake ID. Kelli was handed a citation before she was sent back to return to the Californian Music and Arts Festival. Taking our 1st spot is So Random and Liv and Maddie's Audrey Whitby. In light of the 2016 presidential election, Audrey was one of the few stars during the peaceful protest who eventually wound up getting arrested. Despite the protest arguably not hurting anybody, Audrey took to Instagram to explain how the officers present, quote, "pointed batons, tear gas, and non-lethal firearms directly at us." Audrey then added, "The irony of what was happening hit me as I shoved my peace sign high in the air." According to the actress, her hands were bound with plastic zip ties, and an officer harassed her with demands wanting to know if she even voted. Audrey later clarified, "I was ushered onto the bus and separated from my group." Eventually, the star and her friends were all released after also being slapped with a citation. That's been today's WATN. Thanks for watching, friends.